He was stung 5 times by the wasps that just swarmed up. I was so upset, and I called the pest control company the next day. Well, you read in the contract, there's no guarantee.
Hey, I'm Brent. I'm the owner of Local Bug Guy. Today we're talking about Jen's story. We captured her story of when she started with Local Bug Guy, and I'm going to talk about my perspective on what she experienced.
Hi, I'm Jen. We've lived in our home for 3 years, and we had previously had a different pest control company. They came about a month ago for a routine service, and I had told them that we were having trouble with wasps. So they told me they would get that taken care of. The next day, my son,
So in Spanish Fork, Mapleton area, she lives in Mapleton. In the Spanish Fork, Mapleton area, wasps are super common. In fact, I would say that's what keeps us in business. If it wasn't for wasps, we probably wouldn't have Local Bug Guy. Just because wasps are jerks, people hate them, they're super annoying, and it's this continual issue. So that's why people want this routine maintenance. So this is a pretty standard customer dealing with a pretty standard experience that you would have, and why you would even hire a pest control company in the first place.
day, my son, my 8-year-old son, was out in the yard running around playing with some friends, and he stepped on a wasp's nest that was just lying on the grass in our backyard. He was stung 5 times.
So I remember I was actually helping out on the phones this day, so I talked to Jen when she first called in. I don't remember all the details of what was happening, so it's cool to hear her story. I don't remember that he had stepped on it with his foot. I think she might have said barefoot, but yeah, playing out there with friends, steps on a wasp nest. That's super stressful. I remember listening to her and just thinking like, holy cow, we got to help this lady out. I mean, this is the kind of thing that if we didn't have bills to pay and families to feed, we would just help people for free because wasps are annoying and we care about our kids. So I didn't remember the details. It's cool to hear the details, but I just remember like, oh my gosh, this lady needs help. I wish I could just jump in my truck and help her right now. But instead, we sent Nate out there probably the next day, because usually we try to get out there next day, especially if it's something scary. But let's see her story.
I was so upset, and I called the pest control company the next day. Well, you read in the contract, there's no guarantee. Too bad, there's nothing we can do about it. Local Bug Guy was so good at just saying, we're so sorry this happened to you. We're gonna make sure it doesn't happen again. And so
the customers don't care about the contract, they care about their family. So they call in and they want to know what's going on. They want to know what it costs. They want to make sure that it kind of makes sense, but you don't read the contract. You just care about your family, and when you give somebody money, you just want them to help you. And so it's interesting that the company actually basically read the contract to her and said there's no guarantees. I would like to believe that that person that read that repeated that line, they're doing what they were told to do, but they really probably felt bad in their heart about like telling this person, there's nothing I can do, I don't care. I think they cared, but the company cared more about the organization and making things efficient and easy and organized for the company instead of what's this customer feeling right now. So I think one of the main things that makes Local Bug Guy work, we hire good people, we give them good training, but then we don't look over their shoulder all the time and have them worried about what their boss is thinking. Instead, the technician goes to the house. He knows that he's the one coming back, so he's going to do a better job, but he naturally isn't looking over his shoulder thinking, what's my boss going to think? He's thinking, how's this customer feeling today? Am I proud of the way that I am looking under things for black widows and wasps? And I think that's what makes it work. It's not just that we hire good people, but we don't take the humanity out of them by making them worry about their boss or 1,000 checklists and rules.
And so they came out and did a great job for us.
So I think the main thing that Jen is saying here is that she had a human experience. She was worried, her kids were worried, her husband was probably pissed off, even though she didn't say it. And she called, and one company gave her a checklist and rules, and then Local Bug Guy provided a human response to their human experience. So that was really fun to revisit Jen's story. It kind of brings me back to when I answered the phone and I just had this human response to her need. And it just reminds me that at Local Bug Guy, this is a pretty normal thing, regardless of the technician, regardless of the customer, regardless of whether it's ants, wasps, black widows, whatever. We are consistently providing a human response to a human experience. So if you think stories like these are interesting, let us know in the comments below so we can make more of them.